What's up, guys? Invader1 here again, and I know before you guys even say anything, before you go there, I know that the Christmas time is over, the New Year's here, and there's no reason why I should not have a whole bunch of videos this week. But I've been, a few things have been going on this week, so that's why you guys haven't seen many videos, but there are more videos coming. Especially the noob guides. I do have a new noob guide that I'm working on, and I should have it up pretty quickly. The other thing is that I also have the Pedro whoop-ass videos. Yes. Pedro will continue his adventure. So I'm looking forward to kind of posting those up and for you guys. Now, you guys are watching some gameplay here, and it's pretty awesome actually. It's not the best gameplay that I had in regards to the topic that I want to talk about. And you'll notice that there's some lag here. This character just kind of appeared and reappeared in front of me. It was so weird. I don't even know how I was able to kill him. So this entire week, well, most of the week, I actually took to Pug Gold, so Pug Gold specifically, just to get an idea as to for some of the things that you guys are going through. Not that I haven't Pug Gold in the past, of course. I Pug Gold many times before I got to the skill level that I am at now, and most of the time throughout the week I Pug Gold, but I usually create the lobby. I'm the host, and I'll have people come in and I'll just play. But this entire week I've been playing more than 2 days Pug lobbies, and what I've been doing is I haven't been doing that at all. I've been playing on other people's hosts just to, number one, get the experience on that again, make sure I don't forget what that's like, and just at the same time, I realized something about doing that is that it keeps my skills sharp, because I have to be able to play and still do massive amounts of damage with the delay that you get when playing off host. And you will get some kind of delay sometimes. Like you see, I'm shooting at somebody, I won't see the kill feed till later, like it doesn't recognize it right away. Or the enemy, like before you saw in the beginning, the enemy just kind of appeared and reappeared in front of me. So I experienced a lot of those situations here, and still I was able to have a lot of fun in the Pug lobbies, guys. And this week I played a lot of Pug Gold. A lot. I mean, a lot of Pug Gold. And I had quite a bit of fun, and in all honesty, it was very interesting playing Pug Gold lobbies. And at the same time, I realized, I guess that people are starting to recognize me a lot more. I'll go into lobbies and I'm getting messages right away, or they're asking me, "Hey, aren't you this YouTube guy? Like what's going on?" But it's been interesting. But I noticed a few things that some of the difficulties that people have when playing certain things, and that is playing against the collectors. People seem to have a difficult time if collectors is chosen. Now, if you're playing against collectors, and you know that you're playing against collectors, meaning it's not unknown gold, you definitely have to be on point. And before I even go into that, you guys know that I have a ton of footage, a ton of videos on playing against the collectors. I was actually the first guy on YouTube to post anything about collectors on the first day. Actually, the first day that the collectors were released, I was the first guy to post any kind of video on the collectors. Just actually, it was a collector's platinum on this, actually the same map, Hazard Dagger, with the Turian ghosts and Turian Havoc Soldier and all that. So, and I know a lot about the collectors on platinum and on gold, etc., etc. I know how to fight them. I know enough about them, how to play against them and all. And it doesn't mean I'm perfect. Doesn't mean I won't get killed or insta-killed or hurt here and there. It happens. You'll see that in this gameplay. But I know quite a bit about the collectors, and I noticed playing these Pug Gold lobbies that a lot of people have difficulties with playing against the collectors. Now, there's certain factions that there's not factions, I'm sorry, there's certain classes, character classes that fare a little better against the collectors than others. Now, the adepts, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. again, you guys have seen me do all Adept team and all Adept team versus the collectors. You guys have seen me do all Volus team versus the collectors. You guys have seen me do, God, I don't know. I've done the collectors on hazard maps, on reactor collectors. I don't even remember. I've just done a lot of collector stuff, and again, you know, I know a lot about the collectors. First guy to post anything about them, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. But you know, this is the thing. A lot of people have issues playing against the collectors and trying to figure out, you know, what to do against them. They're not that difficult, but the thing is that what really makes them extremely difficult is the speed of the Praetorians, their cheapness, like especially with their lasers that they can kind of shoot through cover, even hard cover. I've been in hard cover, and in all honesty, you know, the Praetorians still have been able to just take me out. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that they can do that. But you know, the biggest, the bigger issues are the Seeker Plague, Seeker Swarms. They blow up on you. They take away your shields and your power recharge. That kind of messes you up. The other thing is the abominations, and this is my one complaint about the collectors is the abominations. I have absolutely no clue, no idea, or don't understand why the abominations, not even the possessed abominations, have damage over time when they explode. I understand that they explode and they'll do damage to you, but the damage over time, I'm just like, man, that's just a little too much. Like, I really don't understand why BioWare did that. It's just an extreme troll, because it'll definitely tear you up, especially on Platinum and especially on Gold. You know, you got your last little sliver of health left, and then all of a sudden the abomination explodes, and you still have that little, you know, little bar, but then the slight damage over time that it has will just eat you up. Now, going back to the fact that you guys know I've played collectors quite a bit. I've had to create certain kits, or you know, I've had to have certain characters ready or available, or you know, just certain kits that I'll create at that moment just to play against collectors. And you know, some of the kits work a little better than others. I would, in all honesty, when it comes to the kind of classes that I would play, when it comes to the collectors, I like to play classes that are not casters. For example, Adepts are great, don't get me wrong. Adepts are really, really good against collectors, but not as great as weapons-based classes. For example, the Infiltrators, or the Soldiers, or the Engineers, because even though they do have powers and they can be affected by... Oh, that was awesome headshot there. They can be affected by the Seeker Plague. You know, you could put heavy weapons on them, and they could just, you know, rely on their weapons to just do the damage that they need to do. Now, this is why I've created certain builds just for the collectors, or certain just certain kits just for the collectors. This is one of them, guys. You guys have seen me, you know, do a video on the Quarian male, you know, infiltrator, and that's totally fine. You know, there's nothing different here. The only thing is, guys, that there are certain weapons too that you may want to really get good at to be able to manage the collectors much faster. And now, again, I'm gonna say that, you know, this is actually not the best gameplay I had pugging Gold against the collectors. Now, I had a previous Gold gameplay before I even talk even further about, you know, what this is about, collectors, but pugging the collectors on Gold. I actually had some gameplay that I wish it would have panned out. It was pugging Gold versus collectors on Hazard Reactor, and I don't know. You know, sometimes playing with randoms is kind of I don't know, it's something else, because it doesn't bother me. In all honesty, it really doesn't bother me to play with randoms, because even if everybody wipes, I'm pretty confident, or I feel really comfortable that I can just solo it, and that has happened actually. I really wished I would have recorded it. I was playing a lot. For some reason, a lot of people like to play fire-based white collectors, and that's a really good map for it too, because you can funnel the Praetorians and everyone in quite well. But there's, you know, I had a gameplay where I pretty much just had to solo every single wave for the collectors because it seemed like they just did not know how to fight them. It was really tough. And I mean, it was. Let me just be honest. The score that I had was by wave 10 was 200,000, where the second guy only had about 24,000. And mind you, score doesn't really mean much when it comes, at the end of the day for anybody who has been playing this game for quite a bit. But it does kind of show like what kind of damage you're doing, etc. to a certain extent. So it was absolutely crazy. And it's just hitting me that a lot of people have difficulties with the collectors, just having a difficult time. Especially, look at this. I have, this plague on me. It's just horrible. My recharge speed is down, but I still have the Claymore, which is really helping me out. Now, talk about those games real quick. I had a game on Reactor Hazard versus Collectors, and I don't know, maybe I'll put up a little clip about it later, but the host, for whatever reason, he decides to call out when he's going to press the button for the reactor to close after he does it, and not before. After he does it, when we're already running in, and boom, 3 of us get cooked in there. And then the guy just starts literally, just, I don't know, yelling that he told us that, that not to go in, and I'm just like, dude, you should have called it. And I wanted to get into more detail, but I just left it there, I'm really not, I mean, it's just a game, I don't get too crazy or too confrontational when it comes to a game. So I just let it go. But, I thought that might have been the video, so I thought it was, through everything, I actually trolled the guy, like, later on. I actually killed the possessed abomination next to him inside the reactor. And he was quite upset. He didn't realize I did it, but I did it, with the Claymore being so far that it could actually, the Claymore can actually kind of snipe. I waited till the possessed abomination got next to him, and then I just shot it. So yes, I know, guys, I know most of you guys know that I'm a nice guy, blah 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 blah, that's fine, but I do sometimes, I'll do some fun things, just for fun. And so yeah, I actually trolled him, and it was funny. I gotta be honest with you, I really had to kind of mute the mic because he was just so upset. But anyways, he had pretty much trolled us before, and it was kind of messed up how he did it. I mean, he wasn't doing it on purpose to hurt us, but he was just not doing things right, and just more interested on closing the reactor than and cooking some of the enemies than really working with a team. So, and I soloed every single wave, guys. That again, that was another 200 and something thousand score with 24 or whatever, 24,000, the second highest. So he just, and that doesn't always happen on other enemy factions. I've played Pugs versus Cerberus and Reapers and against Geth, and mostly everyone is doing fine, at least 50,000 score in gold, etc. I'm usually always scoring over 100. On Pug lobbies, I rarely ever score less than 100. As you can tell, guys, the way I play on Pugs, it's very aggressive because I don't know anyone and not everybody's communicating. So I play extremely aggressive. Like, I really go out there to the enemies. I force spawns in the beginning of the waves because I understand where they spawn. I know where they're gonna be at, etc. So I make sure that I set up everything the way I want. And if I see the team on one side of the map, where they're not supposed to, I go to the appropriate areas where I know the enemies are gonna spawn, and I know that they're gonna be at a certain area because I already have enough knowledge of it. But when it comes to collectors, I noticed that it's just people have a really hard time. And some of the weapons, guys, that I kind of recommend for you to use on your weapons-based classes, like the soldiers, the infiltrators especially. And I gotta say something to that too, because most of you guys are gonna be like, well, I want to use whatever class I want, and that's totally fine. Use whatever you want. Adepts, you guys, again, I've proven you can use adepts versus collectors. You can use engineers, whatever. We've done it all, guys. We've done it. But oh, look at this! I got picked up, but I died before I finished. That was awesome. Two Praetorians sandwiched me, and look at it. I didn't even gel. The system just brought me back in. I thought they were both there. I was hoping the missile would have killed both of them, but I don't know what happened to the other one. But anyways, the collectors, with whatever class you're going to use, in all honesty, I recommend classes that you can hold heavier weapons. And weapons kind of like this, like the Claymore. Now, most of you guys are going to be like, well, Vader, the Claymore's kind of, it takes a lot of skill, especially in the console. On the PC, it's a lot less skill because you have the mouse pointer. And it's just easier to aim. You can actually do a lot of headshots. It actually should be a lot easier for the UPC guys to kind of, just work out the headshots and work out the Claymore and pretty much any weapon. But if you're in the PS3 or the Xbox, the Claymore, it takes quite a bit of skill to kind of work. It's a single shot weapon, and you got to aim it right, and you kind of do a little bit of a quick scope to be able to zoom in, just to make it easier for you. You don't have to. You can hip fire the Claymore. I've learned to do a little bit of a quick scope, but you'll notice here in the gameplay. But weapons like the Claymore, guys, are really good, and I'm gonna just kind of explain why. You're going to want weapons like this, or like, for example, the Widow, the Black Widow, the Cerberus Harrier, weapons that can shoot through armor quite a bit, even like sniper rifles like the Valiant sniper rifle, and also all the shotguns like the gas plasma shotgun, the Claymore, even the Crusader, guys. The Crusader is actually, I mean, if you're good with it, I personally don't like it too much for me. I really don't. I have it. I've had the Crusader for quite some time, and maybe I'll do a gun series where I go over each gun, how they are now, because a lot of the guns have changed, their damage output, etc. An example is the Typhoon. The Typhoon came out first day. That thing, I had it at level 1, and that thing was chewing out the atlases like nothing, like they were butter. But still, you want weapons that can shoot through armor quite a bit. You notice that there are times that even some of my my other puggers here, they will shoot down an enemy or whatever, and the enemy is still, like, with a lot of health on the ground, still alive. The collector captains, the collector troops, and they all have, especially if they're possessed, they have a lot of health and shields. They just have a lot of health and shields. So it is actually it's actually to your benefit to use characters or classes that you can use heavier weapons with. And this is one of the ones that I actually recommend. The male Quarian Infiltrator, he still rocks it, but I'm not talking about putting just any weapon. I'm talking about using the Claymore. I'm talking about using the Black Widow, the Widow on them, because you're gonna want something that chews through armor quite a bit. You're gonna want armor-piercing rounds or phasics. You're gonna want warp rounds. You're gonna want to put your best stuff for the collectors, because they kind of take it out of you. And in all honesty, this is kind of why I've been pugging it, just to see the difficulties that people have pugging it. And I've noticed, even though I personally don't have too much of a difficulty with collectors, but they are a little bit of a pain in the ass, a little pain to play against sometimes. And again, at first, when they first came out, I was so excited about them. I still like them, don't get me wrong, but I rarely ever play collectors. Like, if I have to choose collectors, I don't choose them. If it happens, it's if I get collectors, it's because of whatever, some random occurrence, unknown gold or something, unknown platinum, and whatever happens, or if I actually choose it to make a video for you guys. But this kind of setup here, where you have the Quarian Infiltrator and you have your attack cloak set up for damage. In the beginning of the video, you see how the consumables that I have set up, pretty much how I'm set up. It works out, guys, and I played quite a few pug lobbies. I even used the Solarian Infiltrator. I did use the Claymore on him too, and that worked out quite well. But so far, the Quarian male Infiltrator, due to the fact that he is actually a little tankier, the way I have him set up is his tack cloak up to rank 4, for damage, right? And then I tactical scan only the first 3 points just so I could get at least 15% damage. His training, I have him set up for all weapon damage on rank 4, rank 5 headshots, and rank 6 weapon damage again, and all full fitness. I don't do any melee on him on fitness. I just do all bottoms just to make sure that he's tanky. That gives him over 1,000 shields, and I think around plus 900 health or 800 health. So he's actually okay. He actually has really good shields. So that is a good thing. And I've been just literally been testing this guy out with a Claymore, playing him along, and I noticed I've actually had some people who weren't on the mic and come back into the mic, and they're like, man, like seriously, they just like couldn't believe that I'm just chewing down through Praetorians and through Scions much quicker than anything, because most people know that a gun like the Claymore is really good. But a lot of people forget about it. A lot of people are using the Harriers nowadays. I don't know what's going on, but I noticed I'll go into a lobby and a lot of people are just Turian Ghost, Infiltrator, Cerberus Harrier, Turian Ghost, Infiltrator, Cerberus Harrier, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little lame to see that, and it's a little disappointing. But that's not all the lobbies. I gotta be honest with you. I do, like, for example, here you don't see that. I don't think there's a Turian Ghost in here, but I noticed that in quite a few lobbies that a lot of people just defer to that. In the past, it was mostly the GI. The Geth Infiltrator was the other one, because obviously the Geth Infiltrator is just extremely powerful, and he could just chew down the armor and enemies with whatever weapon he has. But I see nowadays it's mostly the Turian Ghost, and I don't know, it's a little disappointing. But at least a lot of the lobbies that I've been going to this week, I haven't seen a lot of that. I have seen a lot of Geth Trooper soldiers here and there, but so far people are playing the game with various characters and all, and that's been pretty cool. So in all honesty, guys, I think that if you're having difficulties with the collectors, I do recommend to kind of use weapons that allow you to steer a little further out. For example, like the Claymore, the Widow, the Black Widow. Character classes that are more weapons based, and again, don't get me wrong, you could use an adept, etc. But I really recommend more a setup like this, where you're actually able to use heavier weapons that do a lot of damage, so that you can take out the Praetorians, you can take out the Scions, and just kind of work it. Now, the other thing is, guys, that you cannot treat the collectors the same way you treat Reapers. You really have to kind of be very careful when you're actually going to revive somebody. You have to be very careful. The collectors, though, especially the Praetorians, they don't make noise. You just come right behind. They don't make noise when they're creeping up behind you, so you have to be careful with that. Obvious. But that's that, guys. And now, I do want to say one other thing. It's aside from pugging it. Oh, look, this is stupid of me. I thought I had enough space, and I just shot that. I put this abomination. Anyways, I do have a video with the Volus Vanguard that I'm trying to do, and I'm doing it with One True Shot. You guys, I'm trying to get it done with him. If you guys don't know who that is, he's in the BioWare social network, and he usually predicts the new DLC that comes out, and there's new DLC coming out. So what I want to do is hopefully get a dual commentary with him, guys, so you guys can hear more about what's coming out, because this game is not dead. It's actually just, they still have more DLC coming out for single player and multiplayer, so it's still very much alive and kicking, guys. And this is my Pugging Collector gameplay, guys. I definitely recommend weapons-based classes. And try out guns like the Claymore, guys. It's a little bit of a skill weapon, but check it out, guys. Invader 1 out.